Hello, guys. Welcome to Lost Bears. Bears Boldly Go, Lost Bears, where we review Star Trek Prodigy. And we're reviewing the last episode before the Christmas hiatus, or the holiday hiatus.
Yes. James has moved his camera, and I think he's forgotten that his camera is actually further up now.
No,
So I think he's looking at a screen.
I am looking at the screen, but I never looked directly in the camera ever, so it's...
Yeah, fair enough. So it's going to look a bit weird. It's going to look like he's a bit timid.
Well,
more timid than he is.
I always look to the right of it, so now I'm just looking below it. It's no one ever gets eye contact from me.
Yeah, it's all right. He's just playing like Candy Crush or something while chatting. So, nice 2012 reference.
And new lighting.
Yes.
Yeah, and new artwork, which if anyone watches Comics Unmasked, they will have seen me point out already. But, nice new artwork.
Yeah. Episode 5, and it's the mid-season break. So America being America, they bloody love some like mid-season breaks. What is it, like 8 weeks it's going to be off TV or something like that?
December, I think.
I thought it's back in January, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and this one aired.
I mean,
we're filming this on the 30th of November because James was a bit ill last week, so we didn't manage to record this episode. So it's been out for a good 10 days now, hasn't it? So yeah, it's probably 6 or 8 weeks gap they're taking if it's going to be January.
Yeah.
Depending on exactly when it comes back. Now, in the previous episode, they landed on what seemed to be a sentient planet that wanted to feed on them, but at first toy with them by making them find their desires. And then, so this is the resolution episode of that two-parter. What did you think?
Yeah, I think it's a fitting mid-season break episode. This is our getting the gang together episode, isn't it?
It is,
them
yeah.
putting aside the differences and working together.
Yeah, it's the one where the captain finally has to start behaving like a captain.
Yeah, and by the time we finish, they're a crew.
Yes, definitely. Including, I can't remember the name of the character, but the one that's the daughter of the villain.
Yes, and you do get to realise like how little her father really. It's difficult because he clearly does, but not enough. Like,
yeah,
whatever feelings he do have are overshadowed by whatever thirst he has for power or the ship or whatever it is he's after.
Yeah, and I think like, this is. I mean, again, this is something that's aimed at kids, and or at least it's shown on a kids network natively in the States anyway, on Nickelodeon. And this is Star Trek telling yet another relatable story without it being overtly on the nose. Like, there are loads of kids who crave the attention of their parents, and for whatever reason, like it could be a completely innocent one, like their parents just simply work too much because they have to financially, or it could be that their parents are addicted to work, or even and hopefully not addicted to something else. And so, this is a classic story that kids will be able to resonate with. But obviously, it works when you dial it up and make it about a supervillain and the mysterious daughter of the supervillain.
Yeah. It's been enough weeks that I liked it. We see the ship, what makes a ship special.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
It has a third warp nacelle linked directly to the core.
Yes, linked directly to the core, and the core, it turns out, is a
protostar.
Is literally a protostar, hence the name of the ship.
Yes.
So it's a tiny baby star that lives within the ship, but to keep it contained does drain the battery quite a bit.
Yeah.
So when the other two warp engines aren't working, then the containment field runs the risk of collapsing, and then of
I
course
do
very bad
love
things would
having the
happen.
cells go down and then the back of ship opens to kind of
Yeah, I mean it's a nice little nod to Voyager
yeah.
because the nacelles do change shape in Voyager, and obviously a little hint of things to
It still
come
feels like a
because
ship
in
inspired by the Voyager design.
it does, and
It's also
well,
a
I
very
mean, and
it is a very small ship, isn't it?
it it is a very small ship. Sorry, I just kicked myself. I rubbed a blister off earlier by accident,
Ah,
and yeah, that was, and I got myself
you
right in
need
the
one of
sore bit.
those knitting tools that they have in Discovery that'll just knit your wound back together.
Yeah, but although spoilers, James, because I think that may have been the first time we've seen them properly in this season.
Has it? We're going
Possibly.
to be reviewing
I'm not.
Discovery in this same recording session. Not the same episode, but the same
Yeah, we'll
recording
keep them
session.
separate. We'll keep them separate. Um, Many things to say about that.
Yeah.
Ahoy, my hearties.
Well,
So, yeah. Um, but yeah, so they. I agree. I think like I've bedded in quite nicely with this now. I am looking forward
yeah.
to it returning in the new year.
So
I hope it doesn't run too many episodes because I'm not like I know I was joking
there's
before,
another
but like
5.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of these breaks. And I know that like some long like more traditional length American TV series they get like sports breaks as well because like
That's usually only a week gap.
when the
There's
Super
a
Bowl comes
but
and
it's
stuff like
because of
that.
how they're shot, and animation's a bit differently. But traditional network television, they broke for the holidays so they could break for the holidays,
Yeah,
like because they were shot during like
yeah,
a lot of traditional network American television is shot as it comes out, or is only a couple of weeks ahead.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I suppose it is hectic. That's fair enough. Like, um, but yeah, I suppose it's just a cultural thing as well. It's just one of those weird little things that like we're just not necessarily used to.
Well, British
Um,
television tends to be entirely finished before it even sees air, unless it's like soaps and things. But
yeah.
and
But
soaps
yeah,
never
because
have
I
a
mean,
break.
yeah, because we traditionally British TV is not actually that long in
No.
each season. It might be 6 to 10 episodes maximum. Yeah, it's very easy to actually literally put them in the seasons. So you'll have something that runs in autumn, and then you'll have something that runs in
Although we don't use, or we do these days, but we never. Season was not
yeah.
a terminology that was used on British
No, it was
television.
series. Yeah,
Series.
yeah,
Why series is the
yeah.
overall thing in American television to describe a
A,
show.
a a cluster of seasons. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, um, where do you think it's going to go?
I think we're going to get a little bit more traditional adventuring for the next 5 episodes. Well,
Mm.
no, for the next couple of episodes, then we'll have the bad guys catching up with them and a big emotional final.
Do you
Because that
think
is what new Star Trek is, if anything. It has emotions.
it does? It has many emotions.
And consequences,
d-
which old Star Trek didn't.
Old Star Trek had consequences.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, of course it did.
Old Star Trek could have a character be tortured one episode and be perfectly fine the next.
That's just
Like,
modern medicine, James.
while modern Star Trek would give us that character go like dealing with the aftermath and going to
Yeah,
therapy for months at a time. Not that either of these ways is right or wrong. Both are perfectly valid ways to make
yeah.
television, but they are different.
They are different. They are definitely different. I do hope we get a few more Adventure of the Week things. Because I mean, again, it's kids' TV and
Yeah.
it's a cartoon, so let's go crazy. Let's do
I'd like
what.
a couple of episodic episodes next.
Let's embrace what the animated the Star Trek animated series did in the early 70s, in that it was like, oh, actually we have no boundaries here because we can draw anything. So
It's worth pointing out
I'd like to
animated
see a little
shows
bit.
still very much have boundaries.
So well, no, I mean in that there was no budget, and obviously
No, there's budget.
no, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Though
There isn't
there was
necessarily, they're not limited by real life effects, but an argument could be
Yeah.
made modern live action television isn't limited by real world effects anymore.
yeah, I suppose.
Either.
I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, look at
Although,
Saru.
although like saying that, I mean,
Like
Saru,
Saru is such a heavy kind of prosthetic
yeah,
that he would have been an episode, and now he's main
but
cast.
but I bet it costs.
Oh yeah,
I
Discovery is
bet it
not a cheap
costs.
show to make.
No,
But this is
and I
discussion for
think.
Discovery.
Oh, I know. No, I know. But I mean, in comparison to a
Yeah.
cartoon, because I mean, I think that
Oh no,
the thing is,
you are severely misjudging how much cartoons cost to make.
oh yeah, I know they cost a lot.
It's
more
like there's
now.
a conversation on at the moment about how good that new Netflix animated cartoon looks. The one based on
Arcane.
League of Legends, Arcane. And there's a lot of
I've
people
heard
who
it.
work in animation going like, yeah, because they were basically written a blank check. Because people saying like, oh, why can't these other cartoons be like look like this? It's like we don't have the money to make cartoons look like that. I mean, even going back, look at the Star Trek the animated series, right? It reuses a lot of frames.
Well, yeah, and I mean, the thing is, I don't have an issue with that. I don't.
There's no
like,
problem with it.
Like,
It uses it for budgetary reason. Like
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Scooby-Doo
the thing is,
is
that,
a
like even
criminal of it as well.
Disney.
Yeah,
A lot of the big like classic Disney films. There's like some rather accusative like BuzzFeed articles and stuff like that that'll bring them up. Like, oh my God, did you know that Disney did this?
when it was just a way to stay on in
Yeah.
budget, like because animation is expensive, very expensive.
Well, and difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, like especially in the hand drawn time, where like trying to get say two characters dancing fluidically. Once you'd found how to do that, yes, by all means, use it over and over and over again because like
it's
getting some poor animators to redraw something like so that it was like a different set of motion. That's why the dance sequence in Beauty and the Beast was so important.
it's very
when that happened.
easy to undervalue animation. Like
Certainly.
recent what BBC has been doing a lot lately is animating Lost Doctor Who stories and releasing them on Blu-ray, and they're like 20 quid a pop. And someone I saw a review of one saying like, "Why would I pay 20 quid for this? It's not even the real show." It's animated.
It probably cost more than the original show did.
Yes, significantly more. Like it's 20 quid because the money they've spent doing, they have to make the money back on what they've spent to do that. Otherwise, this experiment stops.
Yeah.
Right. Same reason why going back to
They
Star
got to make
Trek,
it back and make a small profit so that they can invest that in the next.
why we've never got any remasters past the next generation, because we didn't make enough money on the next generation remasters, and it cost them a lot to do it. And it's even going to cost them even more to do DS9 and Voyager. So, judging on how much we made on TNG, they've just decided it's not worth
No, it
cost.
probably wouldn't be. Yeah. Other than potentially, with with Paramount Plus rolling out worldwide, it might be one of those things that would be worth doing for maybe DS9 just to say, "Oh, we've got it," and then get some subscriptions for
potentially.
a month.
But if they've got the figures that show people are happy to watch normal DS9, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
I think they'd make even less money on remastering it for a streaming service.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, once we got through season 1, where it was a little bit jarring coming back from TNG.
Yeah, you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is that like the software that say we watched on Netflix, Netflix upscales it nicely. Your TV does a very good job of it as well. So like, and your eyes just get used to it.
I watched the Triple Duology back to back. So the TOS Tribbles episode and then the DS9 episode. That
yeah.
The DS9 episode looks significantly worse than the.
Yeah.
Even obviously when we were getting into original series footage, right? Because obviously that episode uses a lot of original series footage. To compare it to what the remastered original series episode looks like, and
but that was beautiful. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, obviously the like one of the high points really of Prodigy actually is the quality of the animation.
Yeah.
Like, especially for a 25-minute an episode kids TV series that probably doesn't have the biggest of budgets of the new Star Treks. Like, it might. I wonder if it has a similar budget to what Lower Decks has, but is spent in a different way.
It's safe to say we're both looking forward to the second part of season 1, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Do you think the villain stays?
Yes,
as a long term
for this season anyway.
No, I mean, obviously it's going to be for this season.
I don't know outside. Too early to say.
Yeah, I suppose they see where they want to go with that one, and of course, if it's involved at all with any potentially overarching story with the other shows.
But on that note, our recommendation is still, if you like Star Trek, give Prodigy a go.
Especially if you've got kids.
Yeah.
Sit down with them, introduce them to Star Trek with something that they might actually understand and enjoy a little bit more, possibly, than some of the other bits of Star Trek. Especially if you've got little kids. They'll enjoy it.
And on that note,
live long and prosper, everyone.
Yes, and we'll see you in January. In this series.
Hey, did you just do that one-handed?
No, I still...
because it looked like you...
Yeah, harder to hide it. I mean, easy, but...
You did it quick, though. It was almost like you just...
Oh, yeah, I mean...
fluid motion.
I actually think I am getting better at it, thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Practice makes... Wow, ladies and gentlemen. On that absolute bombshell, we'll see you in January.
Yeah, and you'll see us before then in other things.
Yeah, you will. Definitely.
We'll be back here in January.
Yeah. So.
But till then, we'll see you on the disco decks.
Boop, 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 boop.